Okay, I had another great idea in 1987. I'd gone to work for a bank. Now remember, this is 1987, okay? Dinosaurs. People were talking about this thing called SFA, Salesforce Automation, later known as CVM, Customer Value Management, later known as CRM, Customer Relationship Management. It was technological methods for managing customer relationships. And I had an idea, I bet we could build one. So First Union was about, at that time, 50,000 employees, fairly large bank, ultimately grew to the third largest bank in the country. And the idea was to build one internally that was user-friendly, that was internal build, that used the mainframe computing power, et cetera, et cetera. And the only thing I think I'm going to say about this is this. This whole thing started one day when I walked over to the automation division and found a guy who was not busy, and we sat down in his cubicle and I said, could you make a screen that looks like this? And he made the screen. And after that, we just kept building functionality and selling it and building functionality. And we had to have something that would function across thousands of locations, dozens of different jobs, hundreds of job hierarchies and so on. And we started building it. And what we did was one person building one screen, test. Add a feature, build something else, and test. And you can call it rapid cycle testing, you can call it whatever you want to, but it was just iterative. Build, test, build, test, build, test, build, add. And I think of this as an entrepreneurial thing, even though it was inside a large corporation, because there was no budget, nobody said to do it, it didn't exist, and a couple of us sort of wandered off and said, we really need to do that. And it had a result. We ended up building what I would call a better SFA system than Salesforce.com. If you go look at Salesforce.com today and you look at what we built in the early 90s, the platform, their platform is identical to what we built. So there was some entrepreneurial fun in building something out quickly. There was Payne Weber did an analysis of our system and said it was the best SFA system of any bank anywhere in the world, blah, blah, which is good. And it's still, by the way, the core platform across First Union, Wachovia, and Wells Fargo in the United States. Now, I almost feel like this is blinding glimpses of the obvious, that you all know this, I think. When you're starting out to build a business or build something, if you don't have a clear vision in your own head, nobody else does either. And ask yourself over and over, am I clear in my own head what it is I'm about? What is it that I'm trying to accomplish? Do I have a very clear vision? Everybody in here who's going to have more than one person, going back to the other point, you have to align people and teams, and you have to do that constantly. You are constantly working to align people and teams to be aware of that vision. I think sometimes entrepreneurs have a vision, and it's a moment of epiphany. And they have that vision, and they think they're done. It's like, I've got my vision now, everything's complete. But the entrepreneur is in a constant state of selling that vision over and over and over and over and over again. If you're not selling your vision is dying. So just because you have it doesn't mean other people are buying it. So don't give up, don't forget to tell everybody. And I'm going to skip something to say one other thing in this. If you've got a complex, hard thing to do, this is a hard skill. People talk about this, but it's a hard skill to develop. Because, and let's be honest, most people are afraid of this. You have to constantly look for people who are smarter than you are. Always. And if you find somebody that's smarter than you or better than you go hire them. If you're hiring people and you look at them and you say, I know that person could replace me in a year, you've just made a good decision. Now, people talk about that. People say that. But to find somebody who has the self-confidence and the ability to do that, because it can be threatening, always look for smarter people than yourselves, bring them into the team. So that's one thing.
Excuse me.
Sure.
Yeah, just to dwell on this, it's important even for people they hire smarter people, they get the credit for it, and it's a chance for promotion, even if,
Sure.
as a manager or thing. So basically, even with entrepreneurs, they have to think, we have to think that eventually we have to elevate ourselves above the technical issues that we started with. And I think that's
Right.
important.
Right.
Okay, and this, what you just said is very, very important. And I'm not just accepting it, I want to implement this kind of thing.
Right.
And I've been on the constant lookout for smarter people. Because it cannot grow with people who are dumber than you, or less smart than you are. To grow, we need smarter people because they have more energy, they are normally younger as well, and they are more open to new developments, to introduce new things. Okay? Whereas we are set in our ways as the original founders of the venture or as entrepreneurs. And we're more focused on the original idea. And I think it's important to get out of this shell, this kind of thinking, and to elevate ourselves and go to managing the people rather than doing the thing.
Right.
And this way, the business can grow.
Right.
That's what I think. And I hope to implement myself.
Yes, sir.
Yes, my question is, when you found the right people and when you hired them, how did you attract them? What attracted them the best? Be part of the company or to partnership or salary? What is the most thing that attracts those kind of people? Because if you have too many partners, you might, kill yourself and end up killing yourself. And
Right.
the idea will be shared among too many people.
That's a real interesting and tough question. So I can answer it the way I think about it. You find there's a phrase we use in our company that is kind of screwy. It's called engineered serendipity.
Engineered what?
Engineered serendipity. Engineered luck. The networking is probably the single most important thing you do as a business owner or an entrepreneur. Network all the time. Because rarely can you get up and say, okay, I need to find somebody that fits this model, so I'm going to go do these things. Most of the ways you meet and get to know people are through networking of one kind or another. As you find talented people, now what I'm going to say sounds absolutely contradictory, but I don't believe it to be. As you find talented people, you give them your idea. You give them the company. You give away what you have. And the irony of that, it's bread on the waters in a way. The irony of it is, the more power you give to people that you bring to you, the more you get back. Almost invariably. So, you can talk about cap sheets and ownership schedules and all that sort of stuff, but when you find good, smart people who want to be a part of what you're trying to do, the odds are bringing them in is not going to be giving them a piece of the pie. It's going to be the pie growing for everybody. So you look and you find people that the word simpatico, where you feel they have the right thinking and you relate together and you align to the same vision. When you bring people like that together, that's not more people eating that pie, it's that pie getting much bigger for everybody. And it's never a zero-sum game, I don't think. It never is. It's always a grow the sum game. Does that make sense?
Entrepreneurship, but of course goes with that other stuff like how much do you trust these people. Sometimes you find the right person, but you wonder about whether trusting him or
Right.
not. So it's the human factor, I guess, is.
Trust is a funny word. trust is, and we have a belief in our company that you don't find trust, you cause trust to come into being. And the way you do that is you trust people. And, you know, and of course you get burned. Of course bad things happen. But if you go into the world trusting, you're much more likely to cause trust to come back. I would never advocate somebody being stupid. And I wouldn't advocate anybody making just obviously dumb decisions. But if you get to know people and you understand each other and you have the right vetting process, I think trust has a tendency to resolve itself over time. And we've got to go a little fast. There's two levels. One of them is the legal financial stuff. You know, you take care of that. You know, you take care of legal and financial issues in ways that you don't really worry about. For me, trust is, can I trust you to be consistent with the vision? Can I trust you to do what you say you're going to do? Can I trust you to be really, really excited about the business? So that, you know, it's many, many different levels. This next thing's boring, and the reason is, it's not boring, but it makes money, so it's not boring, but it's not really, it's an example of leveraged buyout of a small, non-functioning company with a very clear plan to change it and sell it. I mean, it's not that exciting, but anyway, this was not a great idea. We found, a partner and I, who've been in telecom quite a bit off and on, found a little mediocre existing telecom business. It was almost a phone company. We went into a leveraged relationship. We re-engineered the business model. We transformed it from personal to primary T1 providers of DSL services. We decided we'd grow from X to 3X, package it, sell it, take the existing technology where we could, invest enough CapEx into the technology to fix it up and make it workable, and take all that was there and leverage it, do the best we could. This is entrepreneurship, but it's not innovation. We didn't do anything innovative in this entire space. Just, here's a company, let's grow it 3 times, we'll sell it, make some money. So we changed it from retail to business provider, changed it from phone company to communications. We ran the entire personal customer base off. We harvested the money and ran them off. Built out the business progress, did a bunch of stuff. So if you want to, you can constantly find opportunities of companies that exist, have revenue, even have profit, that just stink. They're just not very good. They're just kind of moseying along, and you say, you know, if you look at that, you could do this and this and this, and you could take this company from what it is to 3X and sell it. Sometimes that's a better opportunity for the entrepreneur than to say, I got to find $10 and I got to start from scratch. Go buy something, because you can buy things on really good terms sometimes. This is just stuff that happened. We just met financial indicators. You leverage a company, do the things, grow the revenue, improve the EBITDA, blah, 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 package it up, value it, and sell it.